Ephesus is Turkey's most scenic historic excavation site, if not one of the most well-preserved of all the cities of antiquity. A place of the superlative, whose structures continue to impress right up to the present day. This is the splendid Hellenic Roman theatre. When each of its 25,000 seats was occupied, huge vocal cheers accompanied the gladiatorial battles. And Arcadiana, one of the Ionic Corinthian pillars that lined Glory Street that actually boasted streetlights. A practical luxury 400 years before Christ. Those who visited Ephesus were captivated by the numerous exhibition sword and lance fights that were held here, accompanied by musicians and fire eaters. Imagine the spectacle of Roman soldiers, the aristocracy, and all the pomp and circumstance of the occasion, and this place comes alive. But we begin with a journey into the past. In ancient times, Ephesus was one of the most important cities in Asia Minor. 1,200 years before Christ, Ionic Greeks established their first settlement on Korissos Hill, next to the ancient shrine of Cybele. Due to Greek influence, the name of the venerated goddess of fertility was changed to Artemis. Later, Artemis' consecrated temple became one of the greatest pilgrimage destinations within the seven wonders of the ancient world. After 560 BC, the Lyder king Chrysos forced resettlement to the second Ephesus, from the hill and down into the plains. The third Ephesus, the current site, was founded by the Diadochean king Lysimachos, who in around 296 BC protected the city with a wall and improved harbour. The rule of Pergamum followed, and finally in 133 BC, the Romans took power and the city was designated as the capital of the Roman province of Asia. Ephesus developed and blossomed into an ancient cosmopolitan city, and soon had close to 300,000 inhabitants. However, when the Roman Emperor Constantine came to the new capital city in the year 330 AD, it fell into decline, assisted by the silting up of the harbour. Due to earthquake, Arab hostilities, and later conquest by the Seljuks, Mongols, and Osmans, the city, which for centuries was the most splendid in Asia Minor, was transformed into ruins. Nevertheless, today sufficient structures have survived to enable one to gain an impression of what it was like to live here 2,000 years ago, in the most important of the seven cities of the Apocalypse, and the region in which Maria was recognized as the Mother of God, and where lay the grave of Holy John. The biggest attraction in the ruined city of Ephesus is the two-story Celsus Library, with its numerous recesses and statues. Celsus came to prominence at the beginning of the 2nd century AD as proconsul of the Roman province of Asia. His son allowed a library to be built above his father's grave. It was a place of great family pride. Ephesus was a prosperous city, and its wealth was displayed by all at every opportunity. Here stood countless pillared halls, massive temple complexes, and streets paved with marble, adorned with golden statues and magnificent fountains. Hadrian's temple was built to commemorate the mighty Roman emperor, with semicircular gables and decorated walls that depicted the founding of the city. Temples and hillside buildings lined Kureten Street, one of the city's main streets, each villa highlighting the wealth of its occupants. The buildings were embellished with valuable mosaics, wall paintings, and many works of art. There was also a drainage system. During the city's heyday, its inhabitants lived a contented life, until the ancient harbor gradually silted up and the city was forced to retreat further inland. Nowhere else can such a rich abundance of ancient buildings, streets, open spaces, and monuments so important to archaeology be found. Indeed, since 1869 and right up until the present day, this site has been worked by various teams of Austrian archaeologists. Ephesus also played an important role in the expansion of Christianity, and in 431 and 449 AD, many religious buildings were constructed here. St. Paul and fellow apostles Luke and John came here, and the Virgin Mary lived in Mariamana up until her death. Although Ephesus eventually fell into decay, unlike other cities of antiquity, it has not been lost forever, and has managed to survive 1,000 years of slumber.